There's good news in that the Atlantic as well as the Caribbean are quiet. No tropical cyclone set to develop, at least for the next 48 hours. Meanwhile, the wet season, we've had a break from those heavy bursts, but it's set to come back through Trinidad and Tobago as you go through a Tuesday as well as a Wednesday. And during the wet season, it's no surprise to see those heavy bursts that could last a day or more. And as we go through Tuesday and Wednesday, the ITCZ, the Intertropical Convergence Zone, which is usually responsible for those longer spells of rain, will be visiting Trinidad and Tobago. So we could be seeing those thundery, rainy conditions that we usually expect for the wet season. Now, the Atlantic, as you said, we've been talking about it, it's pretty quiet right now because of the Saharan dust and the wind shear. But for us here in Trinidad and Tobago, that will pose no significant threat for us. We will be seeing those showers coming through for Tobago, continuing through Castara, down towards Buku and Canaan. Across most areas of Tobago, you will see the rainfall, and a few of those showers could be on the heavy side towards the southern areas of Tobago. And for Trinidad overnight, watch for the clouds to build from Guaragari, Moruga, pushing to central and then up towards the northern range. So it will be a damp start to your commute as you go through a Tuesday morning from Arima, Valencia, across the port of Spain, out towards Diego Martin as well. For central and the southern areas during the afternoon, there's a possibility of a thunder shower erupting, especially along the central range. So for those of you south of Caroni, down towards San Fernando, into Moruga, along the central range, you'll see a lot of the moisture, long, dreary conditions expected, lots of cloudiness, overcast for the most part, thundery downpours are coming through as well, especially during the afternoon. So be mindful about that as you go about your business. There's also the possibility of a street or flash flooding through Tuesday and then going into Wednesday. Temperature-wise, 32 degrees Celsius, humid for the most part, 31 expected in Tobago. But temperatures will dip on Wednesday to just around 28 in Tobago, simply because of the amount of cloudiness around, overcast conditions, possibly from morning all the way through the afternoon and evening, and some of those showers turning heavy and thundery. As we talked about, the ITCZ will likely be around Trinidad and Tobago through midweek, and we could get a break as we go towards Friday by the end of the working week. For fisherfolk and mariners, watch for those winds to shift to the east-southeast as the ITCZ becomes active over Trinidad and Tobago. Still 15-knot winds expected. Occasional whitecaps are likely, but we're looking at smooth conditions in the Gulf and a moderate chop of 2 meters through the Caribbean and the Atlantic. And you're looking at just the low tide during the day at noon, and then you've got your high tide at 6 p.m. Now, across the Caribbean, they've had the passage of that tropical wave, which is in the eastern Caribbean there. Behind that, however, we are likely to see some of that moisture lingering into Grenada. Some showery spells expected there. But further to the north from Barbados, going all the way up the Leeward Islands, looking at a lot more fair conditions and some Saharan dust. And for the Greater Antilles, there's a few brisk showers are likely. There is an upper level low there, likely funnel some moisture into the Dominican Republic. Otherwise, they're looking at settled conditions. But for us, looking at longer spells of showers, possibility of some rain as well as you go through midweek. So that's your weather, and that's it from me.